Everybody want to be seen, everybody want to be heard. But let me ask you something. If you're talking, who's listening? If you're watching them, who's watching you? See, we got it twisted. This world tells you to speak up, show out, stay relevant. But champions, they go silent. Real beasts, they isolate. So today, I'm not here to hype you up. I'm here to wake you up. This one's for the focused, the quiet, the dangerous ones. Because when you focus on yourself and stay silent, you keep wondering why your life ain't moving, why you're stuck in the same place, same mindset, same problems, same results. But I'll tell you why. Because every ounce of energy you've been given away. Scrolling through social media, comparing your life to people who don't even know you exist. Talking about what you're gonna do next year when you haven't finished what you started last year. Hanging around people who bring drama instead of direction, wasting your time, your breath, your focus, and you expect growth. Nah, that's not how this works. Energy is not infinite. You don't get unlimited focus, unlimited passion, unlimited willpower. You get a daily dose, and how you spend it. That's the difference between staying average and becoming elite. Let me put it like this. Every time you give your energy to things that don't serve your purpose, you delay your own destiny. You're building someone else's vision while yours sits there collecting dust. You can't grow if you're always plugged into somebody else's life. Every distraction is a detour. Every argument, every petty response, every let me check what they're doing, every attempt to prove your worth to people who still won't clap for you even when you win, is all stealing from you. And you're letting it. See, the people who win, they're stingy with their energy. They treat their time like gold. They don't argue with everybody who doubts them. They don't explain their dreams to people who don't believe. They don't need to post every move. Why? Because they know something you forgot. Energy wasted is growth delayed. While you're busy reacting, someone else is building. While you're watching, someone's working. While you're gossiping, someone's grinding. And when the results show up, don't act surprised when they lap you. Don't call it luck. It wasn't luck. It was focus. It was discipline. It was the refusal to give energy to anything that didn't grow them. You want to know why the same goals show up on your vision board every year? Because the goals were never the problem. Your energy was. You set the goal. You got hype. But when it came time to guard your focus, to stay disciplined, to protect your grind, you folded. You let minor distractions become major roadblocks. You gave your time to people who only take. You entertained doubt, fear, and negativity like they were welcome in your house. But here's the truth, they don't pay rent. So stop letting them live in your head. You got to make a decision. Are you going to spend your life reacting to everything around you? Or are you going to lock in on what's inside of you? You're not short on talent. You're not short on ideas. You're short on focus. You're leaking energy every single day, and every drop is pushing your breakthrough further away. You want to grow? Start cutting off the leaks. Shut off the noise. Put your phone down. Get out of everybody else's business. Your grind doesn't need to be a group project. Stop trying to prove yourself and start improving yourself. Because when you finally learn to protect your energy like it's your lifeline, because it is, you'll see something wild happen. You'll start moving faster, thinking clearer, creating more, winning more. Why? Because everything you were pouring into nonsense is now fueling your purpose. So don't tell me you want it and then give your energy to things that keep you from it. You want to grow? You want to evolve? You want to reach that next level in a world that never shuts up? Silence looks like weakness. That's what they tell you. Speak up. Be loud. Stay relevant. But let me tell you the truth. Silence isn't weakness. It's control. It's discipline. It's power that doesn't need to perform. When you learn to stay silent, not out of fear, but out of focus, you become dangerous. Everybody's talking. Everybody's posting. Everybody's shouting into the void trying to prove something. But while they're out there making noise, the real ones are in the shadows building empires. The loudest one in the room ain't the most powerful. It's usually the one trying hardest to convince everybody they matter. The strong don't need to announce themselves. They show up with results. Silence is a weapon if you know how to use it. Because while they're running their mouths, you're running your plan. While they're arguing, you're evolving. While they're telling the world what they're gonna do, you're doing it. And when it's done, when it's undeniable, when it's in their face, that's when you let your silence speak. Let your life be the noise. You don't owe anybody a play-by-play on your journey. You don't need to explain your grind. You don't need to post every move, defend every dream, or clap back at every comment. You think the lion wastes time explaining why it's the king. No, it just hunts. It just dominates. It just shows up and changes the energy in the room. That's the kind of quiet you need. The kind that demands respect without saying a word. See, people confuse silence with absence. They think if they don't hear from you, you're not working. If you're not visible, you're not relevant. But you know what the silence really means? It means you're locked in. It means you're in the lab creating. It means you're underground building something they can't see yet. It means you're out of reach because you're in the zone. And when you come back different, sharper, stronger, unstoppable. You got to stop thinking silence is weakness just because the world tells you to make noise. Real strength is knowing you could speak, you could show out, you could clap back, but you choose not to. That's restraint. That's maturity. That's elevation. Think about it. How many times have you wasted energy reacting to something that didn't deserve your attention? How many times did you break your own momentum just to prove a point to someone who wasn't even on your level? You lost hours, days, sometimes years trying to be heard, trying to get credit, trying to be seen. For what? For who? Let it go. You're not in this to be heard. You're in this to be felt. You're not here to be loud. You're here to be effective. Every time you stay silent instead of snapping back, you win. Every time you keep working instead of responding, you grow. Every time you choose to build in private, you stack power. There's a reason the most lethal people move in silence. There's a reason they don't post every step. They're too busy becoming who they said they'd be. They don't need to talk about the level they're going to reach. They just get there, and when they do, you'll know. Because the silence will have turned into something louder than words ever could be. Results. You keep wondering why nobody understands your grind. Why the people you started with don't support you like they used to. Why your friends don't show up for your win. Why your circle feels smaller the more you grow. Let me break it down for you. Your journey ain't a group trip. You were not born with a crew. You were not born with a hype team. You came into this world alone, and most of the growth that's going to change your life is going to happen alone. You keep trying to drag everybody with you, thinking loyalty means carrying dead weight. But real talk, some of the people you're holding on to are the same ones holding you back. Stop trying to get everyone to understand your path. They don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. They weren't given your vision. That dream in your chest, that fire in your gut, that's yours. That's your mission. That's your mountain to climb. Stop waiting for a group to catch up when you were built to run ahead. Everybody can't go where you're going. Not because they're bad people. Not because they don't love you, but because they're not meant for the next level of your life. You're evolving, and that means shedding. That means letting go. That means walking into the unknown, even if it means walking alone. And that's not a loss. That's leadership. See, the problem is you're trying to make your journey comfortable. You want it to feel like a road trip. Laughs, playlists, snacks, good company. But purpose ain't a road trip. Purpose is a solo climb up a cold mountain. It's early mornings, late nights, rejection, doubt, and faith. It's you versus you over and over again. And the sooner you accept that, the faster you'll move. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You don't need validation from people who don't even have the courage to chase their own calling. You need to put your head down, lock in, and start walking. If they show up, cool. If they don't, still walk. If they support you, great. If they mock you, still walk. Because the vision wasn't given to them, it was given to you. And let's get real. Some of you are stuck because you're trying to keep the group happy. You slow down your pace so they can keep up. You shrink your dreams so they don't feel small. You play safe so you're not too much for them. And every time you do that, you rob yourself. You rob yourself of elevation. You rob yourself of breakthrough. You rob yourself of you. There's a reason eagles don't fly in flocks. There's a reason wolves leave the pack when they feel the pull to lead. Growth is lonely. Greatness is lonely. You want to be comfortable, stay where you are. But if you want to rise, you better be okay walking that road with just your shadow for company. It's not always going to feel good. There will be days when you doubt everything. Days when silence feels like betrayal. Days when you question if you're even doing the right thing. But if you keep going, if you trust the process, if you honor the calling, you'll get to that place, that level, that version of you that makes all the pain make sense. And when you get there, when you look back at the climb, you won't regret going alone. You'll realize that solitude was sacred. It taught you who you are. It forged your discipline. It built your strength. And that version of you, that's the one that was meant to win. Everybody's out here trying to talk their way into respect, trying to shout loud enough to get validation, posting their dreams, tweeting their goals, telling the world what they're going to do, hoping someone claps. But let me tell you something, real ones don't talk like that. Real ones don't need noise. Real ones let the work talk, they let the results be the volume. You don't need to convince anybody of what you're about. You don't need to prove you're working. You don't need to announce your hustle. You need to deliver. Because when you walk into a room with results, you don't have to say a word. The energy shifts. People move different. They see the difference before you even open your mouth. Talking ain't building. Hyping ain't grinding. Noise ain't progress. Anybody can say they're motivated. Anybody can post a vision board. But results, they're earned. They're paid for in sweat, in sacrifice. In the moments when nobody is watching and you keep pushing anyway, that's where results are born. Deep in the silence, far from the applause. See, you think the world isn't clapping because they're hating? Nah. The truth is the world's tired of words. They've heard it all before. I'm gonna start a business. I'm gonna get fit. I'm gonna change my life. But then what? A week of effort and a year of excuses. Everybody wants to sound successful, but nobody wants to be successful. Because being successful means shutting up and showing up every single day. Let me make it plain. If you got time to talk, you got time to work. If you got energy to post, you got energy to produce. You don't need louder words. You need better results. That's what gets attention. That's what earns respect. That's what makes people stop and say, yo, what are they doing? Let them sleep on you. Let them doubt you. Let them talk down on you. You don't owe them an explanation. You owe yourself execution. You don't win by clapping back. You win by coming back better. You don't silence your critics with arguments. You silence them with excellence. And here's the beauty of it. Results speak in every language. They don't need translation. They don't need justification. They don't need marketing. A fit body, it speaks. A thriving business, it speaks. Mastery, discipline, transformation, they scream. You walk in with receipts. And people listen even if they never liked you. Because respect doesn't care how they feel. Respect shows up when the scoreboard lights up. So keep your head down, keep your mouth closed, keep your grind loud and your voice low. Let people wonder what you're up to. Let them assume you fell off. Let them laugh. Let them forget. Because when the results hit, they'll remember. They'll go back and check. And when they do, let your work answer every doubt they ever had. This is your season to stop talking and start stacking. Stacking wins. Stacking progress. Stacking undeniable proof that you're really about this. No more someday. No more just wait. No more speeches. Just impact. Just improvement. Just evidence. You want to make noise? Then let the scoreboard talk. Let the bank account talk. Let your peace of mind, your health, your legacy, let all of it speak for you. Because when your results are loud enough, you won't have to be. Everybody loves the feeling of motivation. That rush, that hype, that fire in your chest when you hear a good speech, watch a powerful video, or read something that lights you up. But let me tell you something real. Motivation fades. It disappears the moment life hits back. The alarm clock goes off. The workout hurts. The business slows down. The people don't support you. Suddenly that fire, gone. And that's when you find out what you're really made of. Because discipline is louder than motivation. Discipline ain't sexy. Discipline doesn't get applause. Nobody's reposting you getting up at 5 a.m. Nobody's clapping when you choose broccoli over burgers. Nobody sees the 50th cold call, the 100th misrip, the 1,000 no. But discipline shows up anyway. It doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't wait to be inspired. It doesn't need mood, music, or momentum. It just does the work on repeat. That's the problem with most people. They chase motivation like it's the answer. They think they need to feel ready, feel excited, feel passionate. Nah, what you need is discipline. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is a furnace. Motivation is an Instagram quote. Discipline is a lifestyle. One disappears, the other dominates. You know how people lose. They wait for motivation to carry them. But this ain't a motivational contest, it's a war. And wars are won by soldiers who keep moving when they're tired. Soldiers who show up when it's boring. Soldiers who train when nobody's looking. Discipline don't care if you're tired. Discipline don't care if your friends are partying. Discipline don't care if it's raining. If it hurts, if it's taking longer than you thought, it just gets up, suits up, and executes. Think about the people you respect, the real ones, the elite ones, the ones who changed the game. You think they were motivated every day. You think they got to the top because they felt inspired 24/7. No, they had the same excuses you had. They had bad days, they had doubts, they had fear, but they kept showing up because they had something stronger than emotion. They had discipline, and that's what kept them locked in long after the hype died. You want to know who's dangerous? The one who trains when it's inconvenient, the one who says no to comfort, the one who's consistent when no one's watching. That's discipline. And that's louder than any speech, louder than any flex, louder than any motivational clip, because it speaks through results. Every day you don't feel like it, but do it anyway. You get ahead. Every time you resist the easy route, you're building a foundation nobody can shake. Discipline is what turns potential into power. It's what turns goals into reality. It's the silent killer of laziness, the silent builder of greatness. And the loudest message you ever send to the world is not what you say, it's what you repeat. So stop waiting to feel like it. You won't always feel like it. Get over it. That's not weakness. That's the process. Champions feel tired. They feel unmotivated. But they do it anyway. And that anyway is the separator. Anybody can grind when it's exciting. Anybody can work when they're inspired. But only the discipline can grind when it's dry, when it's heavy, when it's quiet. And that's when the real growth happens. So if you want to be great, stop chasing the feeling. Start building a routine. Start honoring your commitment more than your emotions. Be the one who keeps showing up, who keeps getting better, who doesn't need the mood, the camera, the claps. Everybody wants to be seen. They want to be known. They want the likes, the views, the reposts. They want the crowd before they've earned the crown. But the real ones, the ones who actually make it, they move different. They don't need to broadcast every step. They don't need to announce every plan, because real ones don't seek attention. They seek results. Real ones move in silence and win in public. You want to stand out? Stop trying to be seen and start trying to be undeniable. Stop talking and start working. Because when your life gets loud enough, your mouth can stay quiet. When your habits scream discipline, your words become irrelevant. When your results walk into the room first, you don't have to say anything. The room adjusts to your presence. The loud ones, they're usually the least dangerous. They tell everyone what they're gonna do. They hype up their next move. They drop announcements before they put in the work. But real killers don't talk, they just execute. While you're shouting, they're sharpening. While you're broadcasting, they're building. And when they show up, it's with something that can't be ignored. That's how it's done. In silence. Not because you're hiding, because you're focused. Locked in. Too busy doing the thing to talk about it. Too consumed by the mission to entertain distractions. Because when you're really grinding, when you're deep in the process, there's no time for noise. There's no room for applause. There's just work, sweat, sacrifice, and vision. See, the public win. That's just the tip of the iceberg. What they see is the surface. What they don't see is everything that happened in the dark. The nights you cried, the days you wanted to quit, the sacrifices nobody clapped for, the hours you showed up with zero motivation, zero support, and still got it done. That's where the real ones live. Underground. Unnoticed, until the day the whole world has to notice. And when that day comes, when the curtain finally lifts, it's not hype, it's proof. It's not talk, it's transformation. You walk in with the receipts, and suddenly all those people who doubted you, ignored you, counted you out, they get real quiet. Why? Because now they're watching the win you never needed to brag about. That's the move. Stay quiet until it's time to speak through victory. Until the brand launches. The body transforms, the skill sharpens, the level upgrades. You don't need to announce the grind. Let them think you disappeared. Let them think you fell off. Let them think it's over. Because when you come back, when they see what you've been cooking in silence, that moment is priceless. And here's the truth. Most people can't handle the silence. They're addicted to being seen, to being heard, to being hyped. But real power is restraint. Real confidence is knowing you're building something massive and not needing a single person to clap until it's complete. Because the results will clap for you. The ones who win in public, they earn that right in private. Every inch of progress costs them something. And you can't cheat that. You can't fake the foundation. You can't shortcut greatness. So don't try. Don't flex. Don't perform. Just do the work. Do it relentlessly. Do it until silence turns into something so undeniable the world can't ignore it. Because the real ones, the disciplined, the focused, the obsessed, they don't chase the spotlight. They prepare for it. And when it finally hits them, they're ready. Because the work was never about being seen. It was about becoming so good. The silence turned into a standing ovation. So now you know. It ain't about the noise. It ain't about the crowd. It's about you, your discipline, your silence, your grind. You want next level results? Then you better start moving different. Cut the distraction. Stop performing for people who ain't even paying attention. Lock in. This journey, it's not a group trip. It's not a popularity contest. It's not about motivation that fades after one bad day. This is about ownership. You versus you. Every single day. No more loud plans. No more empty promises. From this point forward, let your results be the volume. People don't need to hear your dreams anymore. They need to witness your reality. You want to be respected? Then stay quiet, stay hungry, and keep showing up. Because when you do that, when you move in silence, stay focused, stay disciplined, the wins won't just come, they'll echo. You were built for this, but only if you stop chasing the crowd and start chasing your calling. So shut the noise, protect your energy, focus on yourself. Let the world hear your work, not your words. Let's go.